All right, guys, so you've got your back of your clock cut out and sanded, right? All the edges are nice and smooth. You haven't removed all your lines yet, right? You should have went right up to them. And all, especially in the curves here, there's no little bumps or anything, and you're ready to mark out your holes, all right? So what we're gonna end up doing is I need to transfer all these circles and lines to my back so I know where I'm going to be drilling the holes, right? And I'm making sure that the holes are exactly where they need to be, right? Now, the first thing I need you guys to do is we're going to transfer the straight lines. I'm going to just move this a little bit so we can see both clocks a little bit. There you go, that's a little bit better. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this X, right? And by doing this X, I'm gonna find exactly where the middle of my clock is, right? So you just grab a 24-inch ruler, right? You're going to put it from one corner to the other corner, and you're gonna draw your lines across, right? You don't have to go, I'm gonna do it, just go the full length all the way across. Oh, new pen. All right, all the way across, and you do the same thing, so you're gonna end up making an X. I'm going right to the corner, right to the corner. Feel free to pause and do that before you move on to the next part, right? It doesn't have to get all the way across as long as you got these two middle parts, right? Now what I'm gonna do is I need to draw a line straight up and down, right? So, and I want it to go in the middle of the clock, so it's gotta be in the middle of this edge on top, right? You need to measure your edge. My edge is 6 inches. So half of 6 is 3. So I'm gonna put a little mark at 3. I'm gonna just grab it. So I'm marking at 3. And then I'm gonna go all the way down to the point here, right? Which should be in the middle. I'm just gonna put another mark here just in case. This is 6 3/8. So 6 3/8, right? I need to find out the middle of that, so I need to do half of this. Half of 6 is 3. Half of 3/8, remember when you got a fraction, all you gotta do is double the bottom number, the denominator, right? So half of 6 is 3, double the bottom number, so instead of 3/8, it's 3/16. So if I mark this at 3 3/16, right? The reason I did that, I measured instead of just using this tip down here, is this tip looks a little bit off. So when I either trace it out or I sanded it, I sanded too much on this side, making the tip go over, right? And now I can connect those two dots that I made. And notice how it goes right down the middle of that X, which is primo. If it does not do that, you should come in and measure where it's going. So right now I would measure from this side, it says it's 7 inches. And it should be the same exact way when you measure from this side, 7 inches. If yours is different, you might have sanded the shape a little bit off, and you need to go back and figure out where the exact middle is before you start doing all the circles that we're gonna do, right? Now I'm gonna draw this line straight across here. So I need to do half. I need to find the middle of this side, right? It's 6 1/4. So it'd be 3 1/8. This side is 6. So seeing what you're saying, like we got, this side is 6, this side's 6 1/4. So maybe like something's a little wonky with the pattern. right? Like maybe this is supposed to go up here, but like it doesn't look bad to my eyes. Like seeing these angles, they look the same to me, so I'm not gonna go and fix anything because I know I have, when I did the X, this one right in the middle, right? So made my 2 marks. You can even use this center mark as a guide too. So if like one of these is off, just use one and have it go right through the middle, right? So now we've got our cross up and down and horizontal. We got our X, and we can start doing our circles, right? To make our circles, we're gonna use a compass, right? And all a compass does is transfer, like make circles. So the tip would go right in the middle, and you got the pencil on here to go around, right? You just have a screw, a pencil, get a screwdriver, tighten it on your pencil, and it should be tight. Hopefully I've got these set up where you don't have to add pencils in, and you're just ready to go, right? So this first circle that we're gonna make, I'm gonna do the real big one right here, right? This says the big one is 10.5 inches. So that's the diameter from outside to outside is 10.5 inches. When you're using a compass, you have to set it up for the radius. And the radius goes from the middle to a side, right? So diameter is from side to side. This circle's 10.5. I need to convert that to radius. So from the middle to the side, it's half of the diameter, right? So half of 10.5 is 5. 1/2 is a fourth. So it would be 5 1/4, right? 5 1/4. So I'm gonna go to my ruler. I put the tip on the end of the ruler. I have to take the pencil tip to 5 1/4. All right? Once you got that, you can take the tip. I like to push it down a little bit so it doesn't slide around on you. So push it down into the wood a little bit. Then I tilt it in the direction I'm going to be going. And I know this, I'm sort of making this look easy. It's trickier than it looks. But just make sure that the compass isn't opening or closing more, and you can go back and mark it up. Very nice, right? And I can double check and be like, that's 10.5, yes, right? The next circle I'm gonna make is this 3-inch circle right here, right? So half of 3 is 1.5. So I'm gonna go put this tip at 0, put the pencil tip at 1.5, right there. If your end of your ruler's all jacked up, you can go anywhere on the ruler. If I put this at the 4-inch line and I add 1.5, it'd be 5.5 inches. It's a little bit easier, but like to physically do it, but you have to do the mental math of adding to 4, right? Right, so it's 1.5 inches. I'm gonna put that tip right in the middle again. Oh, broke the tip, eh? Of course, 1 sec. So the tip of the pencil just broke, so I'm just gonna swap this out for my other pencil. When you put a pencil in, you want the tips to be roughly the same far sticking out. So I don't want my pencil sticking out really far. I want it to be sticking out the same depth as the pointy tip. And you don't have to crank this in all the way. It's in the wood and it's good, right? But now I gotta set this back up. I could go right back to the pencil, go to the ruler, or I could go right to the pencil mark that I made already, right? It should be 1.5, yep. So tilt it in the direction you're going. All right, and you got your 3-inch circle. You can double check, 3 inches, right? The last circle we've got to make is this 1.5 diameter, right? So we got to figure out what half of 1.5 is, right? This one's a little trickier. So we've got, let's see if I can do this. The diameter is 1.5. Well, there's a reason I didn't use that. All right, we need to find half of 1.5. Half of 1 inch is 1/2 of an inch. Half of 1/2, so right now that is 1/2 right there, from my thumbnail to thumbnail. Half of it, remember all we gotta do is double the bottom number, is 1, instead of 1/2, it's 1/4, double that bottom number. So 1/2 from this 1 plus 1/4, right? I know it's hard to see, right? 1/2 plus 1/4, you gotta get the bottom numbers, right, the same. So in order to make 2 4, I've gotta double it. So whatever you do to the bottom on this case, you do to the top. So this would be, I gotta double it, so make that 4. And if I double the bottom, I have to double the top. 1 times 2 is 2, right? Now it's 2/4 plus 1/4, just add the top numbers across, 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just gonna go from my thumbnail at the 3 to right where my other thumbnail is, right? All right, got it in. And this one is gonna go, the middle of it, it's gonna go right at the top quadrant of the 3-inch circle. Right there. Oh, I'm gonna push that tip in so it doesn't wander around on me as much. And voila! You guys have all your marks. You got your 10.5-inch circle, 3-inch circle, 1.5-inch circle. You got your lines going straight across, straight up and down, and your X. And you measure to make sure that's exactly in the middle. You're ready to start drilling. Check out the next video.